Good morning, good day. My name is Jerry Wellik. I'm a master of Spring Forest Qigong and also a certified instructor, levels 1, 2, and 3, master healer. And I've been practicing with Master Lin in Spring Forest for just about 25 years now. Started in the year 2000. And I came to this work. I was diagnosed with PTSD. I'm a Vietnam vet, but for a variety of reasons, I had become ill as a teacher and had been teaching for many years. And at that time, I wanted to continue to teach, but I was physically ill. And since getting into this work, I've just become deeper and more appreciative of the practice, and I'm so happy to be able to do this. So the title for my Chi Talk today is 3 Simple Steps to Enlightenment. And I happen to be a fan of Thich Nhat Hanh. And he says, there is no path to enlightenment. Enlightenment is the way. Or rather, he says, there is no way to enlightenment. Enlightenment is the way. So I'll give you some hints of what's helped me to feel that I'm on the path toward living a more happy, healthy, enlightening life. And then you take what you can from this and make what of it is, and hope that you can get a few things, maybe 3 things from my presentation today. 3 simple steps. I'm a storyteller, and in stories, things come in 3s. There's beginning, endings, or beginning, middle, ending. You know the stories you've probably heard as a youngster, the 3 little bears, and the 3 little pigs, the 3 bears, the 3 billy goats gruff. So things have been told in stories. That's easy for us to remember, and there are many other implications of divinity too, where things come in 3s. But so I'm going to share with you 3 things today: a poem, a book report, and a practice. So those 3 things are the main things that I want you to get from this, and take what you can from this, and then put it to use in your own life. So the poem that I want to start with is by Mary Oliver. The name of the poem is Sometimes. It's recorded in a book called Redbird, but this is one of the stanzas in the poem. Pay attention, be astonished, tell about it. Instructions for living a life. So the name of the stanza is Instructions for Living a Life. Pay attention, be astonished, tell about it. So that seems to me to sum up in a very concise way what I want to get across today. That those are instructions that may help you to live a life, to live your life in a full, happy, meaningful, enlightening way. The first is to pay attention. So what we focus on is we get more of. So what we want to do is to attend to those things and to focus on the things that we want to bring into being. And we have a tendency in our culture to focus on the problems. And so much of Western medicine is based on the physical symptoms. So when we focus on those symptoms, we get more of that. So what we want to do is to continually be focused on what we're attempting to bring into life and what we want to bring into our lives. So pay attention. Then the second step, be astounded. Yeah, just to notice that there are miracles happening, and they're oftentimes just tiny little miracles. But it's the way we do things in the little things. These are the habits then that affect everything else in our lives. And then tell about it, express it, pass it on to others. So to me, that's a pretty good advice, instructions for living a life. And when I tell myself that story, tell myself that poem, it helps me to be more resourceful and to do better. So it's like, that's kind of like a little mantra for me. And I'm very much, those of you that know me and have heard other Qi talks, I've always been somewhat, focused on the use of stories and how important the stories that we tell ourselves and that we tell our others, how we bring that into being. So that's a poem that I want you to, that you hear it the first time, or maybe you'll be able to go and look at that poem, or maybe even write it down and say, yeah, that might be helpful for me. So the first thing is the poem. Now, I told you that I teach with stories, and I believe that the people that I've learned the most from are magnificent storytellers. And Master Lin is such a good storyteller. He weaves so many teachings into the stories, and they just go in. You don't even know that you're learning them. Lots of times they seem like just very simple things, like good, better, best. That's just such a profound poem of whatever we're doing is good, but we can always do better, and then we strive to do our best. So that's just one of those little things, that poem, I tell myself that, and I do that every day in my practice, and when I'm doing my practice group, emphasize good, better, best. Another thing is that he says is that our students are our best teachers. And that really has made a difference in my teaching and in my living, to really pay attention to the other person, to put my attention there, that I get myself, my attention off of my ego and focus on how can I best help this person. And that helps me keep me in touch with, I believe, with what my life purpose is to help others to become the best that they can be. And then in that journey, that I'm also being the best that I can be. So speaking about learning from our students, I'm working with several clients, and I think I do my best work when we set up little programs to help each other. So like we make a commitment that we're going to work on this for 100 days, say. And that really helps me, that I'm totally committed. And then I check in each time with, what am I doing to make progress, and how's the other person doing? So I'm forever focusing on making myself better, and in that process, helping them to live a more powerful life. And what Master Lin says is to keep it simple. So that's why I say 3 simple steps to enlightenment. So this is something I learned just this last week from one of my students. In our conversation, I told her that I'm preparing for this presentation for my Qi talk, and I'm doing it on the 3 simple steps to enlightenment. And she says, oh, so you must have read the book, or you're familiar with the book, The Power of Awe. I said, no, I don't know what the book is. I haven't read it. She says, well, that's what this book is about. The name of the book is The Power of Awe, A-W-E, and awe is an acronym for 3 steps that these 2 researchers, they're actually doing teaching and research at University of California in Berkeley. And they've published this book that just came out in 2023, The Power of Awe. And in this book, there are 3 steps. The A stands for attention. So that could also be what are you aware of, or what are you, what is it that you're taking in and that's in your attention at this point in time. So that A is like an awakening, being aware of what you're doing, and attending. What are you putting your attention on? The W stands for wait. So it's to pause and to slow down and to let it come in. And I think of something that helps me remember that is when it comes to a stoplight and you're waiting to cross the street and you hear wait, 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 wait. And so that waiting, it's just like sometimes before we respond, it's best to just be very, very present and to be mindful of what it is that you're communicating. And then the E stands for exhale and expand. So it's like just to let it all out and we become more expansive, but it starts on the inside. It starts from the inside. So that's one of the things too that's been emphasized that I practice all of the time is to know that the change starts first on the inside and then we affect the outside. And so our Western medicine and so much of the Western ways in our culture, we're very, very focused on the physical and on the external. That's on the yang. And it's easy to get out of balance because we're so immersed in that all of the time. So what we need to do and what's helpful for us is to just focus internally and be very, very present to what we're experiencing at this moment in time, and then to act so that we don't have a knee-jerk kind of reaction. And then this helps us to form new habits. And so much of our life is habit. What we do and what we think all of the time becomes like self-perpetuating kind of thing. But we can interrupt that flow and establish new habits by being very mindful of what we want to accomplish and what we want to put our attention on, and then to practice that. And that's the thing that I like so much about Spring Force Qigong. Master Lin has continually refined the practice to make it simpler and more accessible, simpler and easier. And so that's what we want to remember, is to keep it simple and make it easy. So this book, I haven't read the book. I'm ordering it. It hasn't come yet, but I just found out about it just a couple of days ago. So it's by Michael Amster, Amster, Michael Amster and Jake Eagle. And when my student told me about this, or my student told me about this book, I was thinking of something that Master Glenn Toby used to talk about, of 6 seconds, that you have 6 seconds in an interaction to shape and to be what you want to be in each interaction. And they're coming at us very, very rapidly, these little bursts. So we need to be prepared so that we can be at our very, very best. But the whole thesis of this book is just my curiosity, and I'm really wondering how I can really benefit from this book. So one of the ways is to take everything that I've learned and see if I can put it into a nice little simple package, maybe like 3 steps, and to share it with others, to pass it on. So the 3 things that I want to share with you today is a poem. You have the poem Sometimes, Instructions for Living a Life by Mary Oliver. The second thing that I'm trying to get across is awe, to be living in this state of awe, in this state of in between worlds, between being and not being, of being a citizen of the planet Earth, as well as the citizen of the universe. So we are the conduit in between. And if we can be in this state of awe and live our life in a state of awe, we can be happy and joyful. And that's a suggestion for you today. And then the third thing is practice. What is it that we're practicing? So I'm just looking at my life right now with some of the things that I'm practicing that have really helped me. I've learned little pieces from different Qi talks. The first Qi talk that of this year, 2024, was Deborah Lin had done it, and it was like 5 steps, 5 easy practices to do when you wake up in the morning. And so I've been thinking about that a lot, and I've practiced the suggestions that she's given. You can go back to that Qi talk, but she has 5 steps. But just the way I wake up in the morning, that's something that I've been practicing. And I've inscribed something in my heart, just a little saying, and it's actually based on a poem by Ralph Waldo Emerson. But it goes something like this: today is the best day of my life. And so then I wake up and say, today is the best day of my life. And then I'm going to go about proving that to myself and see if I can make this the very best day of my life. And that's what I want to do each day, every day, to practice that, make it the best day of my life. And so I've learned so much from the Spring Forest Qigong community. I love the idea that it's a community and that we are in this together. It's not a competition, but the more we can help others, then the better that we become. So I'm so happy to be able to do this work, to team teach. Now I'm team teaching with Emily Jarrett Hughes. We have a level 1 class coming up in September, and actually a level 3 class in August and a level 1 class in September. And it's just so much fun working and helping to bring out the best of each other. I've learned so much from the other masters, and it just helps me to be a much better person. So that sense of community. And then another practice that's really helped me is to be grateful. And I took the challenge that my friend Sue Kreitz put out to write or to note 3 things that I'm grateful for. And I started this back in December. I took the challenge, and then it felt good to do it. So as I continue doing it, each day I've just been posting and writing 3 things that I'm grateful for. And that practice helps me with my overall practice of Spring Forest Qigong, practicing being happy, joyful, peaceful, content, and living in gratitude. And all of these are important. And the more I practice, the better I get at it. And then I can look and examine my habits to be aware of what it is that I'm attempting to bring into being. So one of my teachers once said, and I thought it was a joke at first, but it's become a very, very important practice for me. This person said how to give a presentation. He says, tell them what you're going to tell them, and then tell them what you told them. So I'm going to do that right now. I told you I'm going to give you 3 practices that have helped me: a poem, a story, and a practice. A poem by Mary Oliver, a book report by the authors of Awe, and those authors again are Amster and Jake Eagle. And then I'm going to tell you what I told you. That's what I told you. That's what I was going to do, the 3 simple steps. So right now I'm thinking of a way to end this presentation. I'll share with you a poem that I like. It's by Walt Whitman, that I think of this poem and it helps me be present and there for the others. It goes like this. O you whom I often and silently come where you are, that I may be with you, as I walk by your side and sit near or remain in the same room with you. Little you know the subtle electric fire that for your sake is playing within me. So thank you for being with me today. I thank you for you taking your time to be with me. I thank Master Lin for the teachings and all of the other masters that have helped us to evolve to a higher level. And I also want to thank all of our ancestors, all those that have gone before us to bring us to this point, and so that we may carry on this to live enlightening and happy and joyful, peaceful and meaningful lives. Till we meet again.